Hello and what is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and welcome to today's Forza Horizon 4 video, specifically on the topic of diesel trucks, why I think we should have them, and why I think we're actually closer to possibly having them than we have been in the past. Alright, so today we are going to be fully building a Pterodyne Ghurka, and we're also going to be talking about a topic that I've touched on in a couple of other videos, but I wanted to talk about why I think it's possible, and why I think it could happen, and why I think that it might if there's enough interest in it. So, first off, the Pterodyne Ghurka is powered by the 6.7 power stroke that has been in all of the new Ford trucks. Now, the 6.7 started a few years back. It started around like, oh gosh, I mean, I feel like it started around the like 13 to 14 range, but that might be a little bit off, but give or take around the 13 to 14 area, and they're still using the 6.7 power stroke. They've just still been developing it and developing it and developing it and developing it. At this point, it's developed to such a crazy, such a crazy point that they're putting out it's somewhere around 900 foot-pounds of torque factory. Now, it still doesn't touch the latest Cummins 6.7 that's in the new Rams, which is now hitting 1,000 foot-pounds of torque from the factory, which is nuts, but it's still a crazy engine. So let's go ahead and get into the tuning of this thing, and we are going to see what we can actually do with it once it's maxed out. So, first of all, let's go ahead and go back and look at the conversion options, because if there are any, well, see, that's the thing. Yeah, we're not putting any of those in there. No. Those are not what we're interested in. We're building the 6.7. So, let's get everything built. There's not all that much that they let you do, to be fair. I wish they would let you do more. I really wish they would let you do, like, something a little bit, like, a few more, like, diesel-specific things. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. The race diesel ignition system is really cool, but it's still kind of like, I don't know, it's still not quite where I would like the upgradability and tunability for diesels to be in Forza. So let's go ahead and get all of this stuff thrown in there, and that leaves us with some final numbers of 953 horsepower and 2,098 foot-pounds of torque, which is not bad. I mean, that's a hell of a 6.7 right there. Now, we did actually bore it out a little bit. What is it now? It's a 7.5. That's nuts. That's nuts. I'm just thinking about that right now, and I'm thinking about how crazy that would be, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that'd be nuts. So we'll put the rally suspension on there because basically all that does is unlock the tunability. Same goes for the sway bars. We can completely tune those sway bars to be fully soft, and it'll act like they're not there anyway. Now, should we do a race weight reduction? I'm not sure. Well, yeah, we might as well. We might as well do a race weight reduction if we're maxing the thing out. Race clutch, full drivetrain, everything dialed in. And then once this is fully built, we're going to transition into the other topic that I really wanted to touch on, because the first thing that I wanted to say as far as this topic goes is we have the powertrains now to do diesel pickups in Forza Horizon. And that's something that we haven't really been able to say before. I mean, up until now, I mean, at this point, we have the 6.7 power stroke. We have the Duramax, the 6.6, the one that's in the H1, which unfortunately I don't have because it is a wheel spin only vehicle. I wish I had one of those. I would love to have one of those, but oh god, I didn't even realize you could actually change the size of these. That's kind of hilarious. It is interesting though how it does kind of make the, it does kind of like stretch out the tires a little bit. It kind of balloons the tires, which it makes them look wider. That's kind of weird. I never actually noticed that before. If you go from, like, if you go to the 24s versus the 20s, which these don't even look like 20s, they look like a 17, but, I mean, these are probably like a 40-something inch tall tire, but I'm gonna actually go with them, and I don't do that often, but I'm gonna go with them because they make the tires look wider, and it actually looks kind of cool, except for when you're looking at it directly from the side. It looks a little weird and strange if you look at it directly from the side. But wait. Oh my god, no. Continue working, because I have one more thing that I want to do. One more thing that I want to do. I was going to originally turn this into an off-road rig, but now I'm like, you know what? This would be the dumbest and most hilarious drift vehicle that I've pretty much ever built. I am also putting the stock tires back on because I feel like the race ones are going to be way too grippy. I feel like they're probably going to be insanely grippy anyway, and I feel like they're also going to completely hurt our potential for any, like, actual good, you know, drifting. But we're going to tune this thing for drifting and see what actually... Why is my transmission not tunable? Oh, that makes sense. I forgot to re-upgrade the drivetrain. But no, so we have the Power Stroke, the 6.7 Power Stroke, we have the 6.6 Duramax, and there really isn't anything right now that runs a 6.7 Cummins, or hell, even a 5.9. I mean, if there is, I'm not aware of it off the top of my head, but I don't think that there's anything in the game right now that runs a 5.9 or 6.7 Cummins engine. So the thing is, if we had all three of those, all we would really need, I mean, hell, we have the ones for Ford and Chevy right now. All we really need now is for them to have the models of those vehicles in the game. I mean, they're a very basic suspension setup. I mean, they're both, well, the Duramax trucks, it would be an independent front suspension. The Fords, it would be solid axle front and rear. So I feel like they would be simple vehicles, but at the same time, you do have to remember that they're dealing, you know, we're dealing with something here that's like not necessarily their specialty, but at the same time, I think that, you know, in something like Forza Horizon, I mean, it's all about having vehicles that really, you know, it's all about having vehicles that allow you to do all sorts of different things, right? Because with these diesel trucks, God, you could do so many different things. It would be so much fun. You could do drag builds, you could do off-road builds, you could do all sorts of crazy stuff. And honestly, I think that would be such a cool place for them to take Horizon 4, and they wouldn't have to go like, hell, they wouldn't have to go like all the way there. They would just have to, like, they wouldn't have to go like all out for diesel trucks, just more along the lines of like, oh, here, we have some diesel trucks for you to drive now, and, you know, you can drive your Lamborghini as well when you want. I mean, that's kind of what, you know, Horizon has always been about, at least to me. That's what it's always felt like it's been about, and that's what it continues to feel like it is about. So, oh god, a slammed Ghurka glitches everything. Oh geez, that's not good. That's not good. Oh geez, it's very clippy. Oh god. The rear tires are in the ground. That's not good. That's not... Oh god, get out of the way. I don't really think we have to worry about you that much, but still. Out of the way. Oh my god, this thing is wonderful. So we're going to attempt this drift zone. I'm not sure if this is actually going to work out, but we're about to find out. But yeah, all of the architecture for implementing like diesel pickups into Horizon 4 is technically already there. I mean, except for the actual models of the vehicles themselves. Now, from what I know, vehicles are probably the #1 most difficult thing to actually implement into the game. But at the same time, I feel like there are more people that would want, you know, to have buildable, upgradable diesel trucks than there, you know, than would like to have, say, for example, oh, I don't know, like some of the just weird and odd vehicles that they have in the game right now. Now, don't get me wrong, the weird vehicles are really cool. I like the weird vehicles a lot. But at the same time, I kind of feel like if they had some vehicles that were... Like, there's so many people that like the diesel trucks anyway, I feel like it wouldn't actually hurt them all that much to add them into the game. I feel like a lot of people would use them. And now that, again, now that we have so many of these engines, I mean, they've been in the game for a while, but I feel like it would still be... I feel like it's possible that it could happen. I mean, this could be us drifting down a mountain road in a modified, you know, in a modified F350. Instead, we're doing it in a modified F450 that's been turned into a massive, like, basically military vehicle. But, you know, when it comes to the diesel stuff in Forza, you use what you have. There we go. It's just so, like, the tires are so wide, it can't keep them spinning. It either runs out of RPMs Or when you shift up into another gear, it bogs down because the tires are so wide. Come on! Oh, we basically made it around the whole corner. And also, can I just say that this thing doesn't sound bad at all. Let me go ahead and let's see. We'll go into interior view. And while I do think it sounds good, I don't think that it necessarily sounds exactly right, if you know what I mean. Like, I feel like there could be some sound work done on the diesels. I just feel like, especially, you know, with something like a straight-piped 6.7 Power Stroke, I feel like it should sound a lot deeper and a lot throatier, and it should also have a lot more of that, you know, a lot more of that turbo spool sound. I mean, this has the blow-off sound, but it doesn't really have the spool sound, and I feel like the spool sound is such a defining characteristic of this engine, especially the 6.7 Power Strokes especially, that it just would wake this thing up so much and make it sound so much better, I think. So if they were to implement the diesels into the game, well, I mean, they already have the diesel engines, but if they were to implement, like, you know, let's say a quad cab short bed F350, let's say single rear wheel F350, you know, quad cab short bed truck that had the 6.7 Power Stroke. If they were to implement something like that, I would really hope that they would kind of do a little bit more sound work to make them sound a little bit closer to how they would sound in real life, you know, with a straight pipe, you know, with a straight pipe and an upgraded turbo. They sound insane. They sound incredible. Man, with all this weight behind this truck, it's actually not horrible. Like, if you've got some speed going, I should say. If you've got some speed going, it's not horrible. Oh, but every other time it's kind of bad. Oh, yeah, it's kind of bad. It could be a lot better. Like, it could genuinely be a lot... This thing really needs a little bit more. It needs a little bit more. But if you want them to put the rest of these diesel trucks into the game, or at least if you would like to make them aware of it, then I think it would be a really cool thing, you know, to actually, like, reach out to them on Twitter and reach out to them on Instagram and be like, hey, we'd like to see some diesel pickup trucks in the game, because I think they would be really, really fun, and I think there's a lot of people that would love to see them in the game, and there's also going to be people that are going to say, why would you want those? They're pointless. And to those people, I say, look up the crazy, you know, 1,000 horsepower, 2,000 foot-pounds of torque, crazy diesel truck builds that go into, like, drag race and highway race and do all this stuff. Hell, you could even make a drift truck out of it if you really wanted to, but I think, you know, drag racing diesel trucks on the highway would be something really, really fun to do in the game, and I think it's something that a lot of the people that play the game now, especially a lot of the people that watch my channel, wow, that's a nice-looking tree you got there, Field. But no, I feel like a lot of people, especially that watch my channel, would be interested in that. So, hope you all enjoyed this talk and this topic and this little build. And if you did, make sure to click that like button. Tell me in the comments below what your thoughts are on this whole topic. And if you're new around here, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later.